This is Seasons of Discontent with your hosts Rick Snyder and Matt Combs on the Hogstye Network.
Welcome to Seasons of Discontent, Season 7, Episode 3, brought to you by Rick Snyder's Washington on YouTube. And I'm Rick Snyder.
I'm Matt.
And we're back discussing all things Washington life as part of the mighty Hogstye Network on audio and here on YouTube on video. So, Matt, my hopes for the Commanders aren't going quite as well as I thought 2 weeks ago. I was thinking it might be a 10-win team. Now I'm thinking it might be a 7-win team. After 2 losses, they lost to Kansas City, almost as my score predicted, but they lost by 10. You know, frankly, Patrick Mahomes just was playing chess against them, man. If Mahomes had been there, he'd have hung 50.
Oh, yeah. So,
there was very little redeeming. The defense gave up 3 third-down conversions. Again, that's 6 for 6 against them. I think that's the scariest part. You know, Carson was okay, gave up a bad sack and lost the field goal, but the defense is what I look at, just sit here and go, you know, you got the talent. We know you got the talent. So what is it? It's got to be the coaching at this point, after all this time.
Well, and it's funny because just 2 years ago, they were a top 5 defense. And realistically, what has changed? Not much. They've gotten better. I mean, you know, they've drafted pieces that they didn't need. At least we didn't think they needed at the time. But yeah, the defense is the glaring issue. You know, I can remember sitting here 2 years ago and saying, you know, look, they have a defense. If they could finally end up with a quarterback and maybe get, you know, some playmakers on offense, this team might be scary, you know, and they have a look. I mean, Carson Wentz is not going to go out there and light the world on fire. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not Brady. He's not Rodgers. He's not Russell Wilson. We know this. He's not going to go up and hang 400 yards a game. But at the end of the day, he can be as long as he's efficient, doesn't turn the ball over, and completes the necessary passes when he needs to. We've already seen in these two preseason games, there's a pretty decent run game behind him, and it's not from Gibson, it's from the rookie Robinson. Yeah, the defense is a big issue. And you know what's funny too? Rivera and Del Rio both played linebacker in this league. Why is our linebacker play not up to par? Like, I just don't get it. But yeah, it's they're not getting to the quarterback. They can't cover in third down, and that's because they're not getting any pressure up front.
And I asked this question online to people: should the starters play in the third preseason game against Baltimore? Because normally you don't play them so much. And today Rivera said far too early to decide, which is, to me, an indication they will, because if they weren't, he'd have said that. But I think they should. I mean, you know, if somebody gets hurt, well, Ryan Fitzpatrick got hurt in the middle, you know, opener. If that's the way it goes. But, you know, they need work. Both sides, the starters need work on all this. You know, Wentz needs work. He's still, you know, I think he's 16 of 22 in the preseason, and he's been okay. And I think he's done what he wanted to do, but I could still see some more timing on there. Logan Thomas came back to practice today since week 13 injury last year. It was his first catches from Wentz, and he was talking about, it felt good because Wentz to Logan Thomas is going to be a big deal.
Right.
They've got to get in sync. And I don't know when Logan's coming back. He said he didn't know if he'd be ready for opening day. But
and tight end, you're right, is definitely a focal point for this offense with Carson Wentz behind center, because not only do they have Thomas, they have Bates. They drafted the kid that they're really high on. And then they just picked up a kid that played in the Super Bowl for the Rams and caught 5 passes. So obviously they're looking for playmaker at tight end. They have playmakers on the outside. It's just a matter of, you know, Wentz getting them the ball and having enough time to see down the field to get McLaurin, Samuel, and Dotson and De'Ami Brown involved. You know, we did see Taylor Heineke be able to push the ball down the field and had a real nice throw for a touchdown to Cam Sims. Yeah. You know, this team is the concerning part with this team is every year it's been well, since last year, the defense is just giving up way too many third downs. They're not getting the other team off the field, and once our offense gets inside the 40, it's like they just forget how to play football. I don't know what it is. They just cannot put scoring drives together.
Yeah, it's been an interesting part. Tight end, when entering the season, you thought, wow, this is stacked. And then things like, Gandy Golden retires. So everybody gets hurt. Eli Wolf is the last tight end they have. He got hurt, put on IR today. I'm not sure he got hurt on the field, but and they had to sign 2 guys. Now, the one guy from the Rams cut him already. But that's a nice pickup. And Logan will get there. So they'll get better. Bates will get healed. Cole Turner will get healed. It's just really a weird spot. And the only time I've ever seen something like that happen was back in like the late 90s. And guard, they lost 3 guards in training camp. And it was just like weird how many guys went in a row. It's the same thing with tight end. They don't have a lot of injuries on this team. They're just all tight ends.
Well, and that's what happened a few years ago. When they had that mixed matched offensive line, you had guys out of position because of injury, and our offensive line was just decimated.
That's true.
It's always one position group that just gets demolished for this team, and I don't understand why.
Yeah, I think center last year, you're right. I think they were down to their 5th center.
Center. That's what it was, because they picked up the kid from the Carolina Panthers, and then he got hurt like 2 games after that. Offensive line, their offensive line is just shuffling the cards the last couple of years. So this offensive line is projected to be pretty damn good according to ESPN, especially in the run game. So you would like to see all of them together. But even in the second preseason game, look how many guys didn't play. Leno didn't play. I think Schweitzer didn't play. A couple guys didn't play.
Yeah, they're way down on guards again.
Yep.
And the weird thing today, somebody asked Ron Rivera about Andrew Norwell. And, the other day I asked somebody, what's Norwell's injury? And they said, coach has never said. So somebody directly said to him today, what's Norwell's injury? And Ron said, I don't have to tell you yet. Well, he said, why not? He goes, well, because I don't have to. All right, but you tell us about everybody else's injuries, which to me means this is a big deal. We haven't seen him at camp. This could be maybe a season-ending kind of problem. I mean, if it is, it is. It's nothing. You're not hiding something. You didn't do anything wrong. But it's like
when did Ron get tips from Belichick? What the hell?
I mean, this guy, I don't know. And Trey Turner has not seen the field either.
Yeah.
We know he has a hamstring. So why don't we get to hear what happened to Norwell? Probably because it's been a surgery involved. That's what happened last year with Curtis Samuel. And Ron got caught lying about that in preseason, about he never had surgery. And yeah, he did. Or maybe this time he thought, I don't want to say it. But that's bad. I mean, that was one of their nice pickups in the offseason was Norwell. And I have no faith that we're going to see him now the way Ron's talking. So the guards are all being shifted around. Schweitzer will be back. And I like Schweitzer more than a lot of other people do. I watched the line. It did okay. I mean, Sadiq Charles actually finished his rounds. I mean, geez, this group, it just bothers me. They're so banged up when they have barely played. And they got to be all healthy. It's got to be a good year for health or they're not going to make it. So I don't know. I did like how they were playing Antonio Gibson and space a lot more. I think it's very obvious now. Robinson's the guy. I saw him at OTAs and was like, this is a guy. And he's proven that. So Gibson's going to be more of a I don't want to say a gadget guy, but he's going to be a select. But then again, that's J.D. McKissick's role too. And you have 2 of those guys. I think you're just going to run Robinson because that's your guy.
Well, and also you got to look at Gibson's contract status. Isn't he about due? I mean, he was drafted the same year or year after Terry. So
this is his 3rd year. So he's got they've got him under contract for next year too.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, depending on what Robinson can do. And like you said, they brought McKissick back for 2 years. I like what they did. They had him returning punts and kicks because that's what he did in college. Let's not forget he was a wide receiver in college that converted to running back. I want to see, and I know it's Curtis Samuel's role that he had in college, but you need to see catches out of the backfield by Gibson. Gibson He's a good runner. I'm not taking anything away from him. We won games last year because of Gibson's performances, but we've also lost games because of his fumbling. I honestly think, hey, look, we got 3 good running backs, and hopefully they all stay healthy, because that'll be a strong suit of this team, and it can only help Carson Wentz, be able to create some space with some play action and get the balls out to the wide receivers and let them make plays.
Yeah. So it came out today. Forbes did their 2022 list of what NFL franchises are worth. And the Washington Commanders, who used to rank first or second for many, many years, are down to 6th. $5.6 billion, which is a third more than last year. It's all TV contracts, that kind of stuff that do it. It ain't damn, but they've fallen from 1 or 2 to 6th among the league. Who do you think's the richest franchise? This seems the obvious to me.
Cowgirls.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cowgirls are $8 billion, but they got that big stadium too that really helps on there. If Washington gets a new stadium raising, near future, that'll move them up a little. New England was there too. And the Rams, of course, the Rams got that big stadium out there. 3. All 4 NFC East teams were in the top 10. And who do you think was last?
Like number 32?
Yeah.
Jacksonville?
Close. Cincinnati.
Oh, wow. The Super Bowl runner-up.
Yeah. So Cincinnati has several guys like Burrow going to come due for big contracts the next couple of years. So they're already starting to maybe sell some stock out of the ownership and all, because they need cash if they want to keep those guys. It'll be interesting how it all works. But
yeah, and let's not forget, that's a family-owned team. It's been a family-owned team its entire existence. Paul Brown founded that team, and his son Mike Brown runs it with his daughter and everybody. And yeah, but the funny thing about the Commanders is, you would think that maybe they would be a little bit higher just due to the rebrand. They're probably would expect more people to buy gear and be more excited to go to the games. But I tell you what's killing them, Rick, is that stadium. You go to that stadium every home game. I've been to that stadium enough. All the stuff we laughed about last year with the pipes exploding and all the problems in that place, that's what's holding them back. They would probably be higher had it not been for that stadium. And look, if the team ever came up for sale, hopefully they would sell them before the new stadium is built, because the new owner maybe could get a good location compared to this one.
Yeah. Well, Dan Snyder told people he has stadium upgrades. It's true. They got 2 new rolls of duct tape. So, they're working away diligently. I had somebody who got one of those seats with the tray table and all, and they sent me a picture of the water falling on it. I don't know if it was raining. That was really weird. All right, before we get out of here, cheapest jersey in the NFL to buy is
the Jaguars. Or the Lions.
The Washington Commanders.
Wow.
Is by $20. They're like $73 average. But they didn't say this, but I think it's got to be partly the Redskins discounted jerseys.
Yeah.
You're not discounting Commander stuff. And I haven't seen any of those selling for $73.
I was gonna say, I've been on Fanatics. All the Commander stuff is full price. They don't even have Redskins stuff. They are selling the Washington football team jerseys at a discount. The Redskins jersey just with Washington across the chest.
Yeah, that must be it. So you can get something cheap if you want. All right, we're out of here. I'm Rick Snyder.
I'm Matt.
See you soon.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Seasons of Discontent on the Hogstye Network.